It is Friday afternoon in September. Dean, this is the end of the first week of school. How are you holding up, my friend?
I tell you what, Chris, first and foremost, I am super excited to be here with you today. We have climbed a mountain this week and we have put our flag in the top and we are rolling as it pertains to the learning in a remote setting. I'm doing great, Chris. Happy Friday to you and super excited to be here with you.
You know, sometimes you walk out of school on a Friday afternoon feeling pretty accomplished, but after this week, I feel comfortable. I feel confident and I feel well prepared for Sunday night to get a good sleep after a Patriots win against the Seahawks. I'm not thinking in a catastrophic way about Monday morning. Our faculty and staff did an amazing job entering into the remote learning world this week. We had a lot of hiccups yesterday, but today things settled down, Dean, and we had an amazing day of learning and connection with kids in the remote learning environment. So
Well,
proud of our faculty and staff.
I think we hit our stride definitely today after a couple of days of working through some glitches. And you're absolutely right. The staff this is second nature to them. You know, we started off last year having an understanding of remote learning, but not to the depth that we are right now. The increased amount of understanding and the tools that they've employed and they've learned about during their professional development has made the learning get to a new level. And I'll tell you what, the kids were excited when I jumped into some rooms today. The teachers were excited. There was high levels of engagement, and it was just a great feeling. And again, we're talking with the principal's hat on right now. And with that hat, I'll tell you what, we see things differently. And I'll tell you, there are so many moving parts to opening the school year that, yeah, you know what? My head is spinning. And I said this to many people, but at the end of the day, I can put my head on my pillow tonight knowing that we are in a good place and we are ready for next week.
That we are. And, you know, the faculty and staff today really shined in my eyes, Dean. They came back from a day of entering into an unknown world yesterday. We had talked about it in theory, but yesterday it became practical. And they went home last night. Some of them, you know, had really some serious thinking to do about how they were going to manage and balance today. And as I went around the building, they were so engaged. They were smiling. They were enthusiastic with their kids. The kids were enthusiastic. And some teachers even shared to me that the kids told the teachers, listen, you're looking kind of stressed. Take a breath and calm it down. And these are 10, 11, 12, 13-year-old kids. They're working with our teachers. They get it. This is so exciting a period.
Well, they've been out of school for quite a while now, what we call traditional school. So any connection with a teacher right now is probably really welcomed on their part. But I will tell you this, Chris, and you make a valid point. We try to tell our staff, it's okay, relax. We cannot replicate a school day. All we can do is make a learning platform that is conducive for everyone to be able to attend and be part of. And again, that means letting go of some of the things that you do feel as though you have to do. I get this is a whole different level of learning. And not only does that happen, but it also allows us to rethink what learning is looking like. And I'm getting a lot of perspective and saying, wow, these tools can really augment what I'm doing in class. And that makes the overall process even more exciting for me as an educational leader.
You know, my wife is a middle school history teacher, as you know, and she's struggling with the transition right now. And one of the things we talked about recently, I've shared with some of my faculty and staff at school, is we're used to being on an 8-lane super highway. And in the classroom, we have resources to our right and our left, and we're able to pull from everywhere for additional examples. And trying to overplan and overthink and overstimulate your computer screen with open tabs and resources is going to take away from the real primary focus of remote learning. Plan a great lesson, have a couple of resources available, don't replicate the school day, and be comfortable traveling down this slow and winding country road. We've got to take it one step at a time. We've got permission to do it from me. We've got permission to do it from the top. Your school's got permission to do it from you and from the top. We just have to be comfortable at our entry and confident that the kids are going to get the most out of what we give them. And that is what we need to really stress. Not fast and furious movement.
I'm glad you.
engagement.
I'm glad you said that, Chris, because I'm watching my wife as well, who's a teacher, and she is looking at creating lessons that are engaging and something where kids can really sink their teeth into and utilizing tools that really she's never used before. And what that does is that allows you to grow as an educator, and you become more comfortable, and all of a sudden the learning takes on different viewpoints, and it becomes really interesting to watch what that looks like and how it grows. And that's the same across the entire board with all of our teachers. And I couldn't be any happier the fact that that is starting to happen. That creativity, that innovation, that is, it's kind of like, it's going to lead us into what we're going to be talking about on Sunday night, where we're really excited, where we don't want to give out too much information, but I do know that you probably have that patch we were talking about.
Right there.
Yeah, there it is. And I've got this book right here, Teach Like a Pirate. And I think between the two of them, you might be able to guess who might be coming on to discuss a little creativity and engagement in the classroom. Super excited to be talking with Dave Burgess on Sunday night. I think it's going to be a rocking, rolling conversation about sizzling education, lighting that fire, lighting that grill, doing all the things that just make that learning come alive.
You know, Dean, a few years ago out at Tantasco Junior High, when I was principal out there, we started talking about Dave Burgess, and we started talking about thinking like a pirate and being a pirate, not really the whole eye patch idea and the swashbuckling walk, but with the idea that you can change and transform a classroom, you can change and transform education by an authentic thought and taking a risk and putting yourself out there. And that was really something that we drove home. And we have some great teachers in our district, Dean, that are taking that charge on. Dave visited Dudley Charlton, 4.5 years ago?
I think it was 5 years ago. And that's where I got his book, and it's autographed inside. So I did have an opportunity, and I think I can get it to show. Right there it is. Dean, welcome aboard. Okay. Again, had a great conversation with him on that particular day. But more importantly, I'm looking really to dig in deeper into the weeds here to figure out ideas and strategies that we can provide for our teachers to really spice up what they're doing. And again, that spicing up doesn't mean holistic changes. It means letting loose and really connecting with kids. What does that look like? It's different in every classroom, and that's a good thing.
That's all that we're talking about. I've got a messy hair now. I think I'll put my hat on and we'll go ahead and get ready to wrap this up. But
absolutely.
One of the most exciting pieces about bringing on guests like Dave is that we get to make connections and also afford opportunities for everybody to think a little bit differently about their craft. And that authentic thought is what drives change. And as we know, change is hard, change is scary. But when it's organic and done at the small thinking and thought level, it's not as difficult. We can make it one small turn at a time, and we are on our way.
But it also leads to growth, individual growth. And again, if you're not uncomfortable, you're not growing. I always remember that thought in the back of my mind. You've got to challenge yourself. And I think as a result of our conversation on Sunday night, we'll be able to dig a little deeper into what that looks like. Hey, Chris, it's Friday afternoon. It's always a pleasure. We've had a wonderful week in our schools. Again, proud of our staffs, both Dudley Middle School, Charlton Middle School. We are heading in the right direction. We're going to support the heck out of you guys. Continue to do what you do. Continue to create. Continue to innovate. And continue to make that learning something special for our kids. And I hope all the principals out there watching this are saying the same thing to their staffs.
You know, I said before I walked out, I was talking with Mike Tucker, the assistant principal at DMS, and I said, I hope that other principals in Massachusetts feel as fired up as I do going into this weekend after a successful entry into remote learning. And if you do feel that way, reach out to Dean and I at unlockingthemiddle@gmail.com and check out our website. Connect with us. Recommend a middle level marvel who's in your building to be showcased on our show. We want you to be with us in our PLN as we enter 2020, 2021.
And don't forget, Joe Pizzo last night, rockstar, 47 years in the business. I learned so much from him, even in the after conversation. Those are the people you want to hear their stories. Those are the people you want to celebrate. Those are the people that you want to sit down and just listen and absorb, because their energy, his energy was off the charts, and it just fired me up as well this morning. And I just said, If that guy can do it going into his 47th year, by God, we all can do it with that type of passion. So, Joe, we thank you once again. We look forward to having Dave on Sunday night. And I'll tell you what, Chris, it's 10:40 into this video cast. It's time to take it home. Bring it home, my friend.
All right, everybody out there, and Unlock the Middle Land Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Dave Burgess joins Unlock the Middle.
We might be able to move it to 7 because of football. I have sent him a message. I'm waiting for his response. And if we do, we'll put it out on Twitter. It's 8 o'clock. If we don't get a response, it's 7 if we do get the response.
That's phenomenal because Pats kick off against the Seattle Seahawks at 8:20. We'll be looking at a victory dance from me. All right, well, soon be good. Be